What is up, everybody? It's Joe from Seattle Leather Research. Hope everybody's doing well. Today, I'm going to talk about an item that I've been using more and more frequently to transport my camera, and that is the camera bag from Buffalo Jackson Trading Company. Don't know where they're based off the top of my head, but I found them when I was first getting into leathercraft and leather goods about a year and a half ago. Just Google search. One thing I'll tell you is that their marketing is fairly top notch. They're super easy to find on Google. If you've ever looked at, just leather messenger bags, leather backpacks, leather camera bags, at least a year ago, they're one of the first sites that'll pop up. They've got some blogs that are helpful too for leather care and that kind of stuff. So that's how I found them. They're super economical. I mean, compared to a company like Saddleback Leather, it's it's like half the price, I would say, on average for their bags, and we'll get into kind of why that is. But if you're looking for something that is still going to be kind of full grain leather, Buffalo Jackson is a good way to go if you're kind of on a tighter budget. Let's go ahead and get into the bag here. Cool. So from a features perspective, on the website they talk about a removable padded camera insert, 2 removable Velcro padded dividers. It holds the camera body, 2 lenses, and it really kind of depends on the lenses you're using, but I'd say 2 is generous. Batteries, SD cards, accessories, exterior slot for iPad or accessories, which I don't ever use, the interior zipped pocket, and you can hold a 13-inch laptop in this as well. Probably not at the same time, but if you wanted to use it as a computer bag, you could. Again, it's water buffalo leather, so this is not cow leather, but it is full grain leather. And this type of leather, you can see it's it's chrome tanned, it's full grained, and it's probably low grade, I would say. So, the higher the grade, the more flawless the leather is going to be. I think the cost is really going to jump up if you want something like an extremely high grade, full grain leather bag, because it utilizes so much leather. So I would say, especially for the price. So this one's going to cost you about $210 plus tax. That's if you buy it today, and actually it's the same price as it was last year as well. At that price, you're going to be looking at low grade, full grain leather. Now, that doesn't mean that the leather is weaker necessarily, but it does mean that there are going to be kind of noticeable blemishes. Saddleback calls them scars and brandings, but you could see there's just a ton of little kind of darker spots here and there, where the animal had bug bites or scars, some kind of lacerations. Any imperfections to the skin are really going to show up. Some folks love that look. I think this bag is probably a little bit too rugged for my taste. It looks kind of beat up. I'd rather do it to the bag myself, frankly, than have it already be done for me when I get the bag. But if you're looking for a super rugged look, again at a very affordable price, this is going to be, it's going to be a good bet. Hardware is going to be brass and iron. And I'm not good enough to tell which parts are actually brass and which parts are actually iron, but they do say it's genuine brass and iron for all of the metal hardware that you see as well. The strap is the first thing about this bag that I really just wasn't a fan of the moment that I picked it up and put it on. The strap is extremely thin. It just feels so thin. I don't know if that's going to focus for me here, but I don't know how thin it looks, frankly. I don't have a ton to compare it to. I know Saddleback's, it feels a lot thicker. for a chrome tan, but for a bag this beefy, I mean, we're talking about a fairly thick bag here. The strap just feels really lightweight, super thin, and it's in multiple pieces too. It's you know, I can't say for sure. It looks like maybe just two pieces. That may or may not be standard, but there's just something about the design of this strap that makes it feel, you know, the padding here as well. It's just a tiny little pad. I don't know, it feels cheap or just inadequate for a bag where you're hauling a bunch of heavy kind of camera equipment. So that's the first thing sort of I noticed here. The fixtures, I mean, this is fine. It's not going to carry like a mail bag. You know, it'd be nice if it had kind of the fixtures up on the back of the bag here, so that the bag sort of sucks into you as you carry it on your shoulder. This is going to ensure that having it on the side here ensures that the bag is going to bounce out from you as you walk, and that can be kind of annoying, especially again if we're talking about heavy equipment inside of here. So yeah, outside of the bag, again, if you're going for rugged, this is a good brand and a good price point. Low grade buffalo hide, chrome tanned. The other thing that I want to point out that's going to get into the reason why the cost is so low is that I actually found out that Buffalo Jackson tans their leather or gets their leather from India, and that is not great. So a lot of the reports, if you're really into leather and leather goods and you like kind of researching leather, you know, you've probably heard that chrome tan can be pretty awful for both the environment as well as for the workers who, you know, are actually tanning the leather. And in some places where there's a lot of regulation, and including Mexico where saddleback bags are made, a lot of those dangers are mitigated. You know, they've just got a lot of safety precautions. Things take time. They're not like churning and burning through as many hides as they possibly can, where you hear about chrome tan taking 8 hours to make a hide. You know, in places that are doing it right, that are well regulated, it's going to take a lot longer. It's going to be a lot safer and cleaner, as clean as it can be. India, I guarantee, is not one such place where high quality chrome tan leather comes from. My guess is that it is the dirt cheapest place to get leather tanned and produced. And you know, this is where you hear places like India, where you hear reports about, you know, workers getting serious burns and major lung damage and just all types of sort of chemical poisonings the longer they work at these factories. Google that, you know, take a look at it. I don't have any sources off the top of my head, but just as I've done my own research and have heard other folks in the community kind of talk about it, it sounds like India and any place where you're going to get dirt cheap chrome tan leather, yeah, they're going to be cutting a lot of safety corners and getting around regulations that, you know, we might have here in the States or just North America generally. So that is probably one reason I will not continue to buy Buffalo Jackson leather products. Might be full grain, might be cheap, but man, you think about the pollution and the horrible conditions for the workers and the, you know, potentially inferior craftsmanship. You know, that's it's just a problem for me, and I assume if you're watching this video, it probably would be for you too. So getting inside of the bag here, so one thing that you'll come to learn is that a really good bag, chrome or veg tan, it's going to be made with as few pieces of leather as possible, and you can already see here that there's a couple things that you should look out for as a leather buyer. First, there are multiple kind of pieces here that comprise the ridge of this bag that almost gives it like a simulated thick feeling. Like I can't tell you what ounce this leather is. It's definitely doesn't seem super thick, but they've got, you know, 3 different pieces here that comprise right along the edge, and it makes it feel like it's a super thick piece of leather. when in reality, you know, it's just because they're layering so much on, and that just gives it opportunity to fall apart, basically, to, you know, the seams to rip and stuff to just, you know, the glue to come apart over time. None of these things are kind of riveted together, these stress points here, or the kind of connection points here. So, so again, going back to craftsmanship, that these bags are kind of made in, definitely would not expect super high quality. Straps really kind of, I mean, it looks like they're sewn to this bottom piece here and then sort of riveted on. But they're sort of kind of, again, wimpy, skinny little straps here. The other thing to look out for here with any bag is this kind of cloth lining, and this is a canvas, and I can't speak to the quality of the canvas. I've never really had to put it to the test, but you know, it doesn't feel like it's anything special. And when you don't have just a clean leather side, you know, here's the top side of the leather. On my nicer, kind of higher dollar bags, there's either a piece of leather here, another piece of leather, or it's just the back of the leather, the back of the top part of the leather, right? And that's what you see usually with high quality veg tan leather, is that they don't need, you know, this like cloth kind of covering it. I've seen some videos where folks will rip out this cloth, and then it just looks real ratty behind there, and the leather itself is thin. I'm not going to do that. You know, I don't want to just tear up the bag because just to prove a point, but it is something to kind of look out for here. Let's see. So inside the bag, they got this front pocket here. I'm not going to take everything out. I got a lot of little pieces in here, but you know, there's 3 or 4 batteries, there's a charger, there's a couple GoPro stands. So it's a good amount of storage there up in the front. I never use this front zipper pocket. It's got canvas lining inside. I just, you know, there's not enough room to fit anything in there once the bag is full otherwise. And then here, you know, I do have 2 lenses. I got a 50 millimeter, 85 millimeter, and I got my Canon 5D Mark IV body here. So decent size, you know, as advertised. Again, I don't use this. You could probably throw some SD cards, you know, memory cards back here if you needed to. And who knows, I probably have some in here that I've dropped. It's a fairly deep pocket, but I just never use it. Yeah, so this is a removable kind of canvas, I think water resistant inside here. And then again, just kind of canvas lined here. One more pocket inside that I never use. Yeah, that's basically it for the storage. Let's see, there is nothing on the back. So, yeah, again, you've got multiple pieces that comprise the back, and that just makes the bag weaker. You know, what you'd want to see is, frankly, one piece that makes the entire outer, you know, from the top all the way through the front side, and then just kind of, you know, a separate piece for the gusset and bottoms here. But you can see even the gussets, it's 3 pieces to make the kind of middle part of the bag. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 different pieces, at least 4 different pieces that make the outside of the bag, kind of the main compartment. Handle's fine. Well, look how skinny this leather is here that's kind of sewn on here. It's also riveted, but man, it just feels like it's so lightweight for a bag that's carrying such heavy and expensive equipment. Yeah, there are little things about this that kind of expose its price point. And I've always been a big believer in you get what you pay for. And I think my ultimate recommendation, I like this bag. I like how rugged it is. I'm not afraid of beating it up or beating the crap out of it, because it's not, you know, a beautiful, you know, $1,200 veg tan camera bag made by some, you know, kind of highly skilled artisan. It's just a a rugged kind of work bag, really. And so I think it's fine. Pick it up. Be aware that it's got 1 year warranty, which is pretty crappy for a leather company to give just a 1 year warranty. I'll do a review on my wife's backpack that I bought her a year ago for Christmas. That's already come apart in a couple places, so I gotta go try to claim warranty with them. We'll see how that goes, but 1 year is not a lot, so keep that in mind as well if you're thinking of going the Buffalo Jackson route. And my final advice, and I'm somebody who's in marketing, so you don't need to take this with a grain of salt, because I know every trick there is in the book with marketing, but don't trust marketing. Don't trust pretty pictures. Buffalo Jackson has probably the best looking Instagram channel of really any leather company that I've seen. They do a tremendous job on their website. Their website looks great. Their Instagram and social media channels look fantastic. The photography is super high quality, but that is not a reflection of the products themselves. So hopefully this review is helpful and kind of gives you an informed opinion when you're sort of looking at the price tag, the attractive price tag of something from Buffalo Jackson compared to what you think you're going to get out of it long term. I'd suggest save your money, and I think you could find comparable qualities for even cheaper on Amazon. I guarantee you could find a chrome tan camera bag for probably $150 on Amazon, and it's going to have it may not have all the pockets, but it's going to be built the same. It's going to look very similar, and it's going to feel similar, and it's going to be, of similar quality with regards to the grade of the leather as well as the origin of the leather. So probably somewhere from China or India or some third world or developing market that doesn't have the regulations that North America has. So mixed feelings about this guy. I probably next time when I'm in the market, I actually would love a veg tan, a full grain camera bag at some point. So I'll save my pennies and save up for one, because I don't think I'd recommend. I definitely wouldn't buy another one of these and expect it to last forever. I just don't think it's tough enough or built with that kind of quality. But thanks as always, guys, for watching, and hope this has been helpful, and I'll see you next time.